Not many can say for certain who ignited the spark that led to the Stonewall Rebellion. What is certain is that many of the instigators were young, some transgender, and a few even homeless, youth with nothing to lose and everything to fight for. 40 years later, LGBT youth services provide support throughout the country. Yet, as providers will tell you, these are the best and the worst of times for our young people.
I was 13 when I finally came out to myself that I was gay.
I was like 14, 13.
I'm the first openly gay person in my family.
I came out in 8th grade.
At 16, I just broke out.
15, I'm 14.
I came out in high school.
I was probably 7 or 8, maybe.
I think in a lot of ways, 2009 is the best of times and the worst of times to be an LGBT youth.
We're growing, we're getting out there. We're more open than just for gay people. We have straight people, we have transgender people, we have people who are confused and still learning.
I would like to get out today. Inspiration from young people.
Because of the greater visibility in the media, because of gay-straight alliances in schools, there's more avenues through which you can come to understand who you are and express who you are than existed when I was in high school.
In the 1970s, the average person self-identified as gay between the ages of 19 and 21. Today, that number has dropped to 13 and under.
There were always lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender students, but we suffered in silence. Today's LGBT students are coming out when they're in junior high, when they're in high school. There's been tremendous progress, the thousands of gay-straight alliances, the number of states that now protect students. GLIS has played a really central role in helping students organize and advocate for themselves.
I think GSAs are great because it gives you like a safe space where you can talk about things.
Rising up above challenges, being able to cause and/or promote change.
I feel like I can really be myself here.
But on the other hand, the visibility is not an unmixed blessing. Being more visible makes you a bigger target, and a bigger target is easier to hit, sometimes quite literally.
We need an ambulance. The ambulance is on the way. You know who shot him? No, police there now. Yes, I hear him. Okay. And we do have somebody on the phone that's with the victim, so we're trying to help him, okay? Thank you. Thank you.
In February of 2008, 15-year-old Lawrence King was shot to death in school by another boy whom he had asked to be his Valentine days before. The violent incident raised national attention not just to school violence perpetrated against LGBT youth, but also the increasingly vulnerable age in which young people are coming out.
Hundreds of thousands of students will take a vow of silence on April 25th as part of the 12th annual National Day of Silence. They'll honor the memory of 15-year-old Larry King and the countless other students who have had their voices taken from them simply because of their sexual orientation or gender expression.
It's really a mixed blessing. On one hand, you want to celebrate a young person's affirmation to know who and what they are, and you want to applaud their bravery. But the double-edged sword is people at the age of 13, no matter how advanced skilled they may be, no matter how much mental prowess they may have, they're still young people.
Young people coming out in a society that is increasingly tolerant of gay people, but who are still fully dependent on support systems where tolerance is not always found.
I grew up being made fun of in school.
I've had cans and bottles thrown at me.
Ashley killed herself because she couldn't handle the pressure.
And I know a lot of parents are like, no, we don't support it.
I found myself homeless for a second time in my life. In 2007, we surveyed the youth in a number of the organizations that served this population. There was 1,600, at least, LGBTQ youth that were on the streets on a nightly basis, and at that point, there was only 75 beds in the entire city for those youth. Sylvia's Place is a shelter and full-time drop-in services for LGBTQ homeless youth. With them coming out younger and younger, if they're in an environment that is not accepting of that, then ultimately more youth are going to be homeless. They have been abandoned at the most crucial point in their developmental process, and then forced to deal with things at earlier stages than they should because they are living off the streets.
When I was 16, when I first ran away from home, I had to do the stroll, as they call it, like the slang, prostitution, to survive.
There are countless numbers of stories of young people engaging in risky sexual behavior in exchange for a place to stay. Because what other options do they have?
I mean, the kids out here just got younger and younger. They're starting at ages 11 just coming down here.
They can go out there to the stroll and make money like crazy. But the long-term purpose with that is catching a STD or HIV.
The infection rate amongst 13 to 19-year-old young men within our community has doubled in the last 5 years.
A lot of my friends I know that they were positive, like as far as being in the streets, and when you're hungry, you do anything to eat.
This is our pantry. We have a washer and a dryer available for them to wash their clothes. We have clothes available, we have toiletries, we have food pantry bags, we have a full shower for anybody who needs it at any time.
I come here for the services that they provide. You know, it was a place where I was accepted, you know, being able to learn from others. The resources I didn't have was a place to live, food, clothes, you know, a place to, you know, sleep at, a room, bed.
Well, in 7 years, I really haven't seen a decrease in homelessness in the young people. I haven't seen a decrease in the homophobia that they find in society, in schools, at home. It's pretty much the same.
And so what's happening is, for instance, at Hedrick Martin Institute, we are seeing a tremendous spike in services here at the agency. So at the end of each day, we provide dinner for all young people. And we're seeing that even the number of meals we are serving is, on some days, at capacity. And we're having to open up new spaces where the young people can actually eat these meals. And so it's presenting a challenge for us on how to administer these services. Coming out at a young age is a pretty heroic effort in our eyes, when you perhaps do not have that safety support or safety net around you to do so.
Today, there are hundreds of thousands of young people stepping forward and advocating for themselves. There's more of a chance to be honest than ever before, but that honesty sometimes isn't rewarded, it's punished. And what we need to continue to work on to change is to make sure that young people can just be who they are without fear.
Every new generation that comes in brings something new to the table. So I think now it's easier, but it's still not easy.
There's still obviously people who are afraid to like say that they're gay, to let other people know that they accept gay people.
In the next generation, I'm hoping that homophobia is something they're going to study in their history class as a relic of the past.
Despite some of the harsh realities many LGBT youth face 40 years after Stonewall, the fact is they're coming out in greater and greater numbers, giving those on the ground fighting with and for them hope for this next generation of brave young people.
Because of their strength and their resiliency, I feel good that someday when I'm a senior citizen, that these kids are going to be running the world. Because if they can get through this, they can do anything. They really can.